Hello again, Roy.RealEstate with Coldwell Banker Legacy in San Angelo. Today it's property tax time of year again in San Angelo. This is now May of 2023 and most of the appraisals went out. The notice of appraised value if there was changes in your valuation on your property. So I've done several other videos about more details of the process, but I just want to kind of do this to give you some encouragement, which if you want to go look at them, they're video number 33, episode 33, episode 92, 107 and 141 kind of go into a little more details of the appraisal process, how they do it, and how the whole process of protesting goes, how that process works. The key is it's time critical. Most of the ones in San Angelo went out early May, and most of them the deadline to file is June 1st. So if you're wanting to protest it, jump on it, do it quickly. Some interesting oddities. Been a lot of press over it this year. There's probably more attention paid to it than we've had most years. It's kind of like been growing recently over the past few years, but there's a lot of attention this year because a lot of people saw huge jumps. One of the interesting things we've seen is large jumps in land, but then those jumps being offset by drops in the value of the house so that the total appraisal value is relatively the same or a slight increase. And you know, keep in mind when all of this that we have had substantial price increases in 21 and 22 in the value of houses. So that is part of what is reflected in here, and part of it is truly accurate, even if we don't like it very much. So understand that part of the process. This is simply what you're getting is a notice of appraised value. It's what the appraisal district thinks your property is worth and what they're going to tax it at. So when you protest that, that's what you're protesting. You have to bring some data to it. Interesting tidbit that the realtors cannot give you comparable sales from our MLS to support your data, but you can look at other listings, things that have been listed, and get an idea of what they've sold for and get some ideas and work out pretty well. So also there's a checkbox on the form that will take you first to an informal process where you can talk to one of the appraisers, present your data, and hopefully get them to agree to an adjustment and lower the price. So the big thing is, if your taxes have gone up to a point where you would sell your house very easily if someone walked up to that. Say, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter how long ago you bought it. You've got a $250,000 house, you think, and they have it appraised at $300,000, and yes, you need to protest. If you have what you think is a $250,000 house and they went from $200 to $230, don't protest. You're still below market value, and so you don't want to go into the protest mode for that, because even though, you know, you're still undervalued, even though it's worth more than you paid, the appraisal went up a large amount, but it's still worth what they actually have it taxed at. So it's kind of a matter of if you would sell it for what they're offering you, what they're saying the value is without thinking about it, then yes, you need to protest. If you wouldn't sell it for that value, then don't protest. But if you do, the time is now. I'm going to put a link to some places, some pictures of how the process works. You can actually go do it online. And with the notice of appraised value, they send you a paper copy that you can check all the boxes and go in. Like I say, again, you start with the informal process because a lot of times you can get it worked out with that if you have some data. But again, timeliness. If those appraisals, when those notices of appraised value go out, the day they're postmarked and sent out by the appraisal district, you have 30 days to get your protest in. So you have to notify them in that time window, and then they will actually schedule hearings. If it goes all the way to the ARB, they will schedule hearings out, and that may take a long time. So don't be angry when you go in, but do the protest, be prepared, talk to the appraiser if possible, the informal process. See if you can work it out with them, if you can show them the data, especially if you bought the house recently, can show that kind of a data. And then wait for the process to take time. Don't complain at them, don't be rude to the people down there, because they're just trying to do the job that they're tasked to do by the state of Texas. They're required by state law to appraise properties within 5% of market value, plus or minus, which they can't do. They don't have the manpower, the capability to do it anyway, but that's the criteria. So protest it, tell all your friends to protest it if their values are too high. Don't protest just to protest, and don't protest because you think your taxes are too high. That's a totally different issue. That is what the city, the county, the school district said is a tax rate. It's just a multiplied, you know, whatever 1% of your property value. So just because you think your taxes are too high, don't protest the value. Protest the value if you think the value is more than what your house is worth. So again, those other videos I've done on the process are 33, 92, 107, 141. You can go back and look at them for more details. You can call me, get in touch with me for more details. Thank you. Roy.RealEstate, 325-268-0775. Thank you.